Flies are an excellent means of catching bluegills and sunfish, and in many cases are superior to using lures. Here, Ann and I are fishing at a local pond to demonstrate how easy it is to catch bluegills using flies with a spinning rod. This particular pond only has small fish, so that is the size we are catching. But when I've tried this method on ponds having larger fish, it has worked just as well. Bluegills are made with a mouth that is very small compared to its overall body size, and their bodies are designed for precision maneuvering. This points to the fact that bluegills are designed to eat very small food items. There is no doubt that a small fly can imitate a small food item much better than most lures. I'm going to recommend to you 4 flies to get started with catching bluegills. A number 18 tan scud, a number 18 Griffith's gnat, a number 16 black ant, and a soft hackle, sizes 12, 14, or 16. The Griffith's gnat is actually a dry fly, but it works very well for bluegills when fished deep. All of these flies should be fished slowly below the surface, at least 2 feet deep. I recommend using a small floating lure, 1/16 to 1/8 ounce, to cast your flies out. Lures such as a hula popper, bumblebug, small stick baits, or a floating crankbait will all work. Be careful not to reel too fast. Give a lot of short pauses when reeling it in. The colder the water, the more important it is that you go slow. You can also use a bobber, and bluegills do not get spooked by bobbers nearly as much as trout do. But by using a small lure, you give yourself the chance of catching a large panfish, a bass, a pike, or any other predatory fish that might be lurking in the area. As always, attach your fly with a fluorocarbon leader. The stiffness of fluorocarbon helps prevent tangles. You may want to use a small sinker to get the fly to sink. I prefer to just tie on a heavy copper john nymph as my first fly, which usually provides enough weight, and then tie on my scud, ant, gnat, or soft hackle 18 inches below it. When you fish this way, you may also catch a few fish on the copper john nymph. Here, Ann has caught a fish on both the nymph and the scud. If you want to fish deeper than just a couple feet, I would recommend using a 1/8 ounce sinking crankbait. Let it sink to the desired depth on a tight line, and then slowly reel it in, giving many pauses during the process. You can also use a lightweight spoon, jig, a small spinnerbait. These other lures will certainly work, but I have found they sometimes sink a little too fast. Remember, a small fly has to move slowly so fish can get a good look at it, and so they'll have confidence they can catch it and eat it. Most fly rod fishermen I know of who fish for bluegills like to use tiny topwater poppers and dry flies such as spiders. It has been my experience that by making your fly smaller and going a couple feet down below the surface, closer to where the fish are, you will catch more and larger bluegills. And in my opinion, that always translates into having more fun.